My kids have really been into the Lego movie lately. And if you've seen it, you know that one of the songs in the first movie is called Everything is Awesome. Well, for me right now, everything is not awesome. So instead, I like to sing, everything is hurting. Everything hurts when you have an injury. Everything is hurting when your foot feels like it's gonna fall off.
After it felt like I was back on track last week, week 20 felt frustratingly like a setback. After the previous week's 21-mile long run, my injured right foot flared up big time, so the week got off to a very slow start. I tried not to miss any planned runs, but ended up doing shorter mileage on all of them. It wasn't great, but it was enough to get me through the week and through another long run in one piece. But enough with Debbie Downer. Let's start with the good. 1. I was able to do another significant long run, and I felt physically better on this one than ones in the past. It's nowhere near the pace I'm hoping to run in the actual marathon, and it wasn't perfect, but it feels like a small step forward. Who knows if it will carry through to the race, but I can hope. 2. The end is in sight. Yes, it's still a few weeks away, but this was the second to last heavy training week before I start a 2-week taper ahead of the race. Now, can things still go wrong even after the big mileage is finished? Of course, but I can see the finish line, or the start line, in sight just up ahead, and I'll hold on to that as motivation for the time being. Now, the bad. 1. Each of my 4 planned runs was cut short. Not ideal. The first 3, I just didn't think I could finish the prescribed miles without pain in my injured foot. Day 1 was supposed to be hill repeats. No way. Day 2 was meant to be a tempo run. Yeah, right. Day 3 called for 7 miles. No. Even the successful long run was cut short by 2 miles, and I think the most frustrating part is that for most of these, it wasn't my lack of fitness holding me back. It was the pain in my foot. I knew better than to push and hurt it more, but where I thought I was making progress the previous week, this felt like regression. Which brings me to 2. I went back to the doctor, and he didn't seem convinced I was getting much better. So he ordered an MRI, which should be able to show if what I'm dealing with is actually inflammation or something more serious like a tendon tear or stress fracture. I'm praying it's the former and that I can just proceed based on my pain tolerance, but of course, time will tell. All right, that's enough of that. Let's move on to runs for the week. Day 1 was on the schedule as 10 90-second hill repeats. Since my injury typically feels worse on hills, I knew I needed to skip this one. But I didn't want to skip my run altogether, so I dragged myself outside and managed 2 painful miles. Total time was 19 minutes and 13 seconds with an average heart rate of 132.
Week 20, day 1. Today was supposed to be hill repeats, but being is that hills really aggravate my injured foot, I'm just doing a short run today just to try to loosen everything up after the 21 miles the other day. Mile 1, 9:43. Mile 2, 9:28. I'm gonna call it there for today. I think what's most frustrating about this whole thing is that other than the foot that is injured, my body recovered pretty well from 21 miles 48 hours ago. But this freaking foot is just constantly hurting. And I know it's because I'm using it a lot, but it's incredibly frustrating because I feel like it is holding me back a little bit. I'm going back to the doctor tomorrow, so we'll see what he says, and I'll continue to do my physical therapy, but gosh, it's so frustrating. I feel close, but still so far away. On to the next one.
Day 2 was a 4-mile tempo run with a 1-mile warm-up and a 1-mile cool-down. With the body still not feeling quite right, I cut the tempo portion in half. The 2 middle miles at the faster pace were pretty successful with a negative split on the second mile, but after the run was finished, some pain returned as I slowed down. Total time on the workout was 36 minutes and 28 seconds with an average heart rate of 134.
Week 20, Day 2. I gotta be honest. I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. My foot does not feel good. I'm just trying to modify the training plan based on, I don't know, what I think might be best. So today was gonna be 6 miles with 4 tempo in the middle. I don't know, I think I'm gonna do 2 miles tempo on the track just to see how the foot does. Very frustrated. Very frustrated. All right, GoPro not working for some reason, but I'm on my cool down. I don't know. My foot felt fine when I was doing the bigger intensity stuff, so not entirely sure what's going on. I guess we'll see how it feels after I recover.
Day 3 was a scheduled 7-mile run, and I maintained that if I had needed to run 7 miles that morning, I could have gotten it done. But I wasn't interested in pushing my foot to the point of further injury, so I left it at 3 miles. Average pace for the run was 9:58 per mile, with an average heart rate of 126.
Week 20, day 3. Out here for a couple miles this morning. I gotta say, it's so frustrating and so difficult to get up in the morning and go for a run when you know your foot is gonna hurt. Oh, I just wish I had some resolution on this. Makes it really difficult. It's also freezing out here this morning. Okay, doing our best. Mile 1, 9:49. Mile 2, 9:53. That's it. That's 3 miles today. I'm gonna call it there. I am feeling incredibly down. I wanted marathon training to be hard, but I didn't want it to be hard because I'm dealing with an injury. And it is incredibly difficult to know when to push, when to pull back. I do not want a long-term injury. I do not want to have surgery. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to run 20 miles in 2 days. And can I even do that? Probably. Can I do that safely? I don't know. This is not going the way I hoped it would go.
All of the reduction in mileage earlier in the week was done in service of trying to accomplish my weekend long run. This week was scheduled to be a 20-mile run. Despite feeling okay throughout, I did decide to cut 2 miles from the total and ended with just over 18 miles. I know I sound like a broken record, but the main reason was to preserve the foot as much as possible. It didn't feel terrible during the workout, but I knew I was going to pay for it after. I think I could have gotten to 20 miles, but probably would have needed another gel and more water to get me through. Adding all of that together, 18 felt good enough. Total time on the run was 3 hours, 1 minute, and 45 seconds, with an average heart rate of 139.
Week 20, day 4, 20 miles today. Second longest run of the block. From here, I'll just take it down to the marathon in 3 weeks. Today is a little bittersweet because today is the Marine Corps Marathon, which, as viewers of the series would know, was what I was working towards. And now I'm doing a long run instead. But hoping the race goes well for everyone out there. And I hope to be racing in 3 weeks in Richmond. Mile 5 check-in. quarter of the way through for today. Feeling okay. Right foot, minimal pain. It's there, but it's not preventing me from doing this run so far. Everything else holding steady for now. 10 miles complete. Halfway finished for today. Right foot starting to feel pretty aggravated, which is not great. But gonna keep going until I can. 15 miles complete, which was originally going to be 3/4 of the way through the run today. Unfortunately, my right foot is just not cooperating. And I'm trying to strike a balance between training and not injuring it further so that I can actually get to the start line of the marathon. So my plan is to do 3 more miles, finish at 18 for the day, and try to stretch and rest the foot. We'll see how it goes. That's it. 18 miles. Oh boy, I feel spent. My legs feel it. My feet feel it. May have lost a toenail, I don't know. But we got through 18 miles. Now time to rest and stretch.
So that's it for week 20. Not quite what I'd hoped for, but thankful I still managed 4 runs. This has been the most up and down training cycle I've had in the past 2 years, and I'm really just hoping I get an up day for the marathon. Despite the week struggles, I'm grateful to run and grateful for today. 3 weeks to go. This is Foot Up to Finisher, and this is episode 20. Thanks for watching. See you soon.